Hello, everybody. It's Graham with another My Music. Now, I've got a drink today because I've got a little bit of a sore throat, and I blame my son, my eldest son. If you're watching this, Addison, thanks a bundle. Never let anybody in your house touch your food when they've got a cold. Ridiculous. You should be struck off from household stuff, just for that. Today, I'm going to be speaking to the wonderful Emeli. And you're coming all the way from where?
Germany. Well, originally, so south of Germany.
South of Germany. Lovely. Yes. So we'll investigate Emeli's background in music from Germany in a minute. But first, we're going to watch that little video from Analog Trash, the wonderful sponsors of this program. If you enjoy it, please let them know. Give them an email. I love the fact you were nodding away there, Emeli. That's great. I mean, some guests like sit there like stoic in the middle of that, but you were really quite getting into that. I've remembered that, and I was going to say that Analog Trash at the moment on their website have got one of my favourite things in the world, which is a surprise box.
Oh wow!
Do you love surprises?
Yeah, I kind of do. I'm normally the one I kind of guess them beforehand, but
yeah. But the great thing, and I think it's a great way to find music sometimes in this day and age where it's like everything's in your face and in front of you. To be able to buy a box, and what they've got is they've got a pink box which is going for £25. It's got £50 worth of stuff inside. All right.
Okay.
So you're getting a real deal, and it's like CDs, tapes, right? The right mixture, but you don't know what you're getting.
Oh.
So and the thing is, the way I look at that is, you might discover your favorite ever band from one of those boxes forever and a day. So look, go and support independent music, and if you love surprises, there's a great idea. Buy it for someone for Christmas.
Yeah.
No, along with some slippers, right? That that they weren't expecting either.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, I really love disappointing people at Christmas with Christmas presents. When someone's like expecting a bike or something like that, and you buy them a pair of socks. They love it. It's great because it's overly commercialized anyway, isn't it? I then give them the bike later on in the year. But I just yeah. But just on Christmas Day, because it's kind of it's rude to expect stuff. I don't expect anything at Christmas other than a lack of sleep, really. Emeli, from Germany, with a great name, Koko. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, it's my artist name. It's not my surname. I thought my surname was a little too German.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, can you let us into your real name?
Yeah. So my surname is Knoll.
Knoll.
But in England, because it's KN, everyone calls me Knoll.
No.
I thought that might be tricky every time somebody introduces me, and it's like, and this is Emeli Knoll, and I'm like, no, actually not.
So where did you pluck Koko from then?
So Koko comes actually as a shortcut from Keep On Keeping On. And I just thought, what would be the best thing to describe me and still keep the initial K somehow in it? And then I thought, why not just take Koko and make it a Koko? And now I'm an Emeli Keep On Keeping On.
Yeah. But also you make pop music, right?
I do. Exactly.
Of sorts. So if for people that are out there, if you'd rather have a bowl of Cocoa Pop See what I did there?
That's good.
Hey,
Nice.
then Emily's your girl. I'd
Yeah,
rather
that's
have a bowl of Emeli Cocoa Pop. Yeah, it's brilliant. I love it.
good. Oh my God, Graham. Yes, I'm gonna use that.
I want you to make a reel of that and put it up there. Yeah, because it would be fun, just for the sake of it.
Like the little title song, you know, that always comes in.
Yeah, if you could get hold of like the original sort of, I think it's sort of late 1980s or early 90s, like original Cocoa Pop's theme tune with the monkey swinging or whatever as well, and just cut into it. I think that'd be brilliant.
That would be good. Yeah,
that'd be great. There we go. So what got you into music in the first place?
Well, my family is quite musically, I would say. My English grandfather, he was a jazz pianist, so he would just go out, come back, sit at the piano, and then just recall what he heard, but kind of make it into this like very jazzy way. So that was really cool. And then my grandfather from my dad's side, from the German side, he was into brass music. So at a very young, early age, I kind of was in this musical place or environment. However, I did start dancing when I was 4, so I did ballet, and I was more into dancing than actually singing. I would sing, you know, in my room or, you know, while showering, and everyone was like, "Oh, you've got such an amazing voice." But for me, it was never, or until I was like 18, was not this idea of like, "Oh, I really need to really get into."
And what sort of dance were you into? I mean, were you sort of like flash dance? Were you like Irene Cara? Were you sort of like, you know, Fame, Kids of Fame, or were you more sort of like traditional dance?
Yeah, more traditional. So it was more Swan Lake.
Wow.
Well, because basically ballet is like kind of like the basis of everything. And then I was in a how do you call it, like theater dance company, where I then until I was 18, I basically we did break dance, we did jazz, I did modern, I did ballet, we had hip hop, and I was part of that dance group for a very long time. So that was a great way of introducing me into kind of, you know, rhythm. And then obviously the music part kind of kicked in at one point when I realized.
So what was it? What was it that tipped the balance? What was it that, you know, made you go, "Whoa, music"?
I think it was one of the last performances that we had where my teacher incorporated like theater and musical, and I got this role where I was dancing, I was acting, and I was singing. And that combination for me was like, wow, I want to be a musical actress. Like I want to go full blow. I want to learn how to sing properly. I really want to do this. And I think that kind of tipped it over. But then I went on to auditions, and I quickly realized I don't want to be a number 17. I don't want to audition over and over. Like I have a character, I have a personality, I've got a name. I don't want to do the whole musical thing. I kind of just want to do music. But it kind of doesn't stop there, because I think there was always this thought of like, I'm not good enough. Right. So it's taken me forever, actually. I think until the pandemic, to realize that this is a passion of mine and I can't just let it sit in this corner, get dusty, and never let it out.
Well, let's face facts. You're only young, okay? So you've hit it at the right time. I mean, there's been a lot of people that, you know, have got to their 50s and 60s in the pandemic who suddenly went, "Oh, I should have been a musician all my life." I actually was a musician all my life, and now I've come out of a long retirement, which has seen them in, you know, doing whatever else in the world for years and years. So you've caught it at an early age.
True. I mean, I always thought I'm too old already for this. In a way,
you're never too old. You're never too old. Honestly, we've had people on here that have literally had, you know, have had like a fulfilling life as a, you know, a mother, and, you know, they've had kids, and have even got grandchildren and whatever, and they've literally now just in the pandemic just went starting, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, right? Yeah. So you're never too old.
Yeah,
right? That's,
you know, it's so true. It's so true. But I think it takes a change of mindset to
Yeah.
understand that. And I think it's also a process of understanding your value and worth. And I think I've been struggling for a long time to kind of understand that I can do anything whenever I want, but the person who has to do it is me.
Yeah.
And
Have you also come to the realization as well, though, because this is key, right, with all of this? Have you also come to the realization that actually maybe now was exactly the right time in your life because of what you've already got in terms of experience or whatever's already happened in your life, and now is your time? Yeah. Did that happen to you?
I think it did. I think I'm for a while now. I think it's been maybe a year, and I'm really living in this mindset of like things happen at the right time. And every time I get stressed and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not where I want to be. I'm like, no, I'm exactly where I want to be, where I should be, and everything that's going to come my way is going to come my way. And yeah, it makes life easier, and I have the feeling things also come much easier to me because I just let them happen. So yeah, that's a really good, that's really good.
Listening to your music, you've got a soul element to your voice and to your sound as well. Where does that come from? Who do you love musically that creeps in from? It's not your grandfather, is it, with his
well, you never know.
own part. But you know, where does that tinge come from?
So I think that tinge really comes from, I've been listening a lot to Emeli Sandé like the last 10 years, and she does have that poppy element, but there's a lot of soul in that. And
Definitely.
I really just kind of, I was a sponge and I took everything in. So Emeli Sandé for me is really like the go-to person when I just felt really understood with her songs and how she works as an artist. And also loving that she's not, she's not a Beyonce, for example.
Yeah.
She is someone where I can really imagine, she's in London, she's in her studio, and she's full-blown human being, and she puts in everything that her soul feels and that she wants to let out.
Well, it's interesting you should say that. Do you feel that that's kind of not what you get with Beyonce? Or, I mean, what is it? What is it that's the differentiator there between someone like Beyonce? Is it that she's too much of a global superstar, that she's not attainable, she's not reachable? Maybe she's out of touch slightly with reality?
That could be. I mean, I couldn't judge because obviously I don't really know.
Yeah.
It's the commercial side of it. I think I think it's the same also kind of pattern on how I listen to music. Like I listen to a lot of like newcomers, and once they hit a certain point, I just see how their path changes, how they become more mainstream. And that's just me personally, but I lose a little bit of interest because I see how the magic and the sparkle just kind of, for me, diminishes a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that Emeli Sandé for me has just always kept. I can't really, it's hard to explain.
In a way, her albums from her first album onwards have become slightly less commercial, have they not?
Exactly. She's like tapping in more into what she wants, but not to like kind of, globally entertain everyone. It's more like, this is my heart project. This is my soul. You can take it or you leave it. There's like no huge tum-tum around it in a way.
Yeah. It's difficult though, isn't it? It's difficult when you start to make it and people expect that of you. Not only you work within the music industry, so you kind of know, right? But not only the people kind of around you and that are promoting you and everything else, it's kind of like, I've now got to promote something that's like not commercial from an artist. That's difficult. But they probably feel that expectation themselves, that they've got to create the next hit, etc. But do you not think that things are changing slightly in that, in as much as we're seeing more mainstream artists talking about that struggle and pushing through with it. I mean, I hate to bring him up again because, you know, he'll never be on this show. Well, he might be. Maybe. I mean, I did speak to his tour manager the other day, but Ed Sheeran, for example,
yeah,
you know, this latest album is not a big banger hit type album. And I think he's been quite scared actually about putting it out. And he almost seems like he's gone off his rocker in terms of work to actually promote it because he's kind of wasn't sure.
Yeah. I mean, I do think you're right. I mean, obviously there's a lot of pressure from everywhere. I mean, you've got fans, you've got the management, everyone is expecting everything from you. And I think it's really hard to kind of keep sane in all of it and pushing forward what you actually want as well. I think that often gets lost. And I think, yeah, Ed Sheeran, why not? He should definitely be on the podcast, I'm sure, you know.
Yeah, of course. Well, you know, Ed, if you're watching, which you're not, because you're too busy. I mean, I don't think the guy sits still for 5 minutes. So getting him on this would be really, really difficult.
Amazing. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'd love to have a chat with him about what's going on because I think he's, you know, I think he's realised, and I don't know whether you watched the documentary, but it's quite interesting. I think the bit that really hit home to me was where he's realised that there's a finality to all of this, that his career will plateau, and he's having a conversation with his wife Sherry about that. He's saying it's scary, it's really scary, but I have to kind of come to terms with my career will plateau at some point. And she's like, I don't think you can cope with that. And he's like, yeah, but I'm going to have to, because it will.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's really crazy. I saw him last year at Wembley, and I mean, where do you go from there? It was insane. It was a one-man show. He was standing there by himself with his guitar, with his loop station, and it was full. Like everyone was jumping up and down. It was, yeah, it was just crazy. So where do you go from there? And
I know, we went to see him at Cardiff, and it's an amazing show. If anyone hasn't seen it, it's an amazing show. For one guy and as you say, his guitar and a loop pedal, it's just.
Yeah, how he fires it up. It's
the energy that he expels is just immense. But but there's a lot of people out there at the moment. There's a lot of stars that are now talking about it. You know, Lewis Capaldi's talking about it. He's made a documentary. He's talking about the pressure that he's felt from the record company. You know, and we know what's happened with various other artists who've had to remake all of their albums.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I know. I mean, for example, I'm a big hip hop fan as well. So I work for a classical music agency during the day, and then when I go home, headphones on, and I hear like old school hip hop and rap. So I'm a Tupac fan, Biggie fan, like Dr. Dre, and I mean, someone who has been talking about this for the last, I think, 8 years has been Eminem. He, in his songs, he really talks about this topic because he always says, where am I going from there? And I mean, his last album, Walk on Water with Beyonce, for example, nobody liked it because he basically said, like, I'm not a god. I don't know where to go from here. I'm just an artist. I'm just, I can't spin my words any other way. I've tried every avenue. I've already got everything. So
I already hold the world record for doing it as faster than the speed of light and everything else. You know, where do you go from there? You know, you can only do Godzilla once, can't you? It's just mad. Yeah. So because you kind of almost go into rap, don't you? When you sing, sometimes you can hear it. You're getting there in the vibe of it.
Yeah, it really depends. I think I haven't really.
You haven't really rapped, right? But you're vibing it. I feel
I'm vibing it. I do feel it, and I think all my songs, and even when I listen to music, I listen to the lyrics. I'm such a lyricist. Like the lyrics, just if they're good, I'm like, okay, let's see how the beat is. How is the melody? I'm like, well, okay, now it's okay. But if there's a good beat, but the lyrics are just not good, I'm not going to listen to it. So
Who would you love to rap on one of your songs?
Ooh, I would love to have Stormzy there.
Stormzy, right?
Yeah, that
And
would be it. I mean, Eminem, but that is like, that is like so far away. But
Stormzy, that would be so good. Oh, but apparently he's a lovely chap. So that might happen. Let's tag him in on this interview and see whether we can make that happen. Stormzy, if you watch this at any point, Emeli would love you to come and do that. And if you were creating that kind of classic Emeli vibe, with soulful, playful pop record with a slightly soulful tone and a kind of a beat underneath, that's a classic beat. What old song would you sample?
Oh, that's a good question.
Is there something like, something classic from the 60s or 70s that you would like lift and say, yeah, I want that kind of, bam, 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 bam.
Something like that.
Do you know what I mean?
I think also that doesn't go that far back, but I think California Loving, that would be pretty nice.
California Loving. Brilliant.
Yeah, I think that would be that's the groove. That would be amazing.
That's the kind of vibe. Perfect for summer, right?
Exactly, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I love that. Well, look out for that. Oh, hang on a minute. 2 secs. Yeah. You know what that is?
No.
It's the Reminder. Right?
I love that one. I was like, it took me a while. I was like, what's going on now?
Because you've got a song called Reminder.
Exactly.
Right. And now this is the thing, right? I want to know whether you've done this or not yet. And if you haven't, you should have done, right?
Okay.
You can set the reminder tone on your phone to be whatever you want. Your reminder tone on your phone should be Reminder.
Reminder.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that would drive me crazy at work, and I wouldn't love the song.
I know, but it would just be so good. You could just go to people. You could just go to people all day long. You go, you know what that is? That's the Reminder.
Yes, I actually did. I did put something on my story where I wrote a little email, and then I just kind of took a video of it, as in like, reminder, dear colleagues, Reminder is out now. So I think that was actually quite cool. Everybody liked that. But yeah, it's nice to play like with those words. And
it is, and actually, as a song, it's an interesting word, isn't it? Reminder. I mean, it's something that now that, in all seriousness, it's something that now is like permeates every one of our lives, having a reminder of something. But actually, you're talking about a much deeper kind of reminder in there. What was the inspiration behind that song?
As you said, there are a lot of layers to that song. And I think I only realized when I was finished with the song that it actually had so much meaning to it. I think it originated from a loss that I had. I lost 4 people within like 3-4 years. And I think when COVID hit, I was one of these people. I was, super happy. Like, it got quiet. I had time to actually, do the things I really like. I had time to breathe. And that was also the time when suddenly I realized what happened the last 4 years. I didn't really, I didn't really grieve. I didn't really get to the bottom of how I was feeling.
Yeah.
So
you had time to process.
I had time to process, and I had time to, let go, and also give myself credit for maybe not giving up so quickly. Having the feeling I had been falling over and over, but then realizing it's been 4 years and I'm still here. Like, I'm still here. It's okay to grieve, but it's also okay to say, well, I didn't give up. I rose every time. I kind of rose up again, but now it's also fine to be done with it. And it's a reminder from the past. It's a reminder.
I love it.
And
is that your general kind of vibe for life, if you like, or is that what you want to, if more than anything, kind of impart on people is kind of hope?
Yeah, I think hope, but also more this idea and also feeling that it's okay to fall,
Right.
because in that moment when we fall, we either realize we're stronger than we think we were.
It's
We
okay to
realize
be vulnerable because out of vulnerability comes strength. Yeah.
exactly, it's not a weakness.
Yeah.
Uh, falling sometimes also means that the universe is letting go of something for you that was not meant for you in the first place. And a lot of times when we stumble, we kind of feel like we're not enough. We feel like it's a weakness. We feel like it's not okay. But at the end of the day, sometimes that is just how it was meant to be. Like we said earlier, it was the right time. And so Reminder for me is obviously it's a very emotional song for me. But at the same time, it's kind of this anthem of, I want you to come back. I'm sad that you're not here anymore. But at the same time, I have fallen, I have risen, and I'm going to do it over and over because I'm strong and I can do that over and over.
I
So,
love the way you talk. You're so impassioned about everything you talk about. It's great. Why would people not want to go and check this all out right now? If you're listening, unless you're driving in a car, because that's probably not a good idea. And that Alexa thing, that never works when you shout at it. Don't stop and try and look up Emeli's music whilst you're driving. That's just irresponsible. But when you stop at a service station, you can check it. Everyone else, there's no excuse. You can stop listening to me waffling on. You can just go and check Emeli's music now. You can come back to the conversation later. That's good. I've got to ask you before we talk quickly about where you're going in the future. Because I have you here, and because you say you work for the music industry per se. Is this show quite good? Because we don't normally get the likes of anyone to do with the industry anywhere near this show. I've got a few PR companies that love to send me people because they quite enjoy it. I've had a few major artists who have wanted to do it, but their PR companies have said no because I'm not famous enough. Shocking, right? One of these days they're going to regret that. But yeah, so is it all right? Because we do try.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think that's the only way where you can actually learn from other artists, where you get an insight into how they are doing, how they are feeling, what are the trending topics, what are the topics that are the most or the biggest challenge for us at the moment. And I think it's about having a community. It's about coming to a place where, you and me, I feel super comfortable. I'm enjoying this so much because I can talk about something I'm passionate about, you're passionate about, and I hope that the listeners currently are passionate about it as well, And so I think these little communities, they are so valued, and I think they're so important, and I think they should be seen more.
Well, one of the things that I say on the YouTube channel right at the top, and I don't know, you might have not seen it, but I say interviewing artists with respect, because I genuinely feel, and the reason that I started this in the first place is that I think that actually too many music interviews, no one's treating the artist with respect at all. I mean, it literally is like a churn mill. It's the same way that, when you get in your car in the morning and there's 5 songs that play, right? Because radio stations have become like so commercialized that it's like 5 songs, and then you get in the car the next day and it feels like Groundhog Day again because it's the same 5 songs at the same time and whatever. And then you listen to DJs who don't actually listen to music talking to artists, and they're asking questions like, what star sign are you? What's your favorite animal? It's like, what's this got to do with anything? You could get a random stranger In fact, I hope one day we might actually do that. That's a really good idea. Get a random stranger off the street and pretend that they're a famous musician and say, right, let's get them interviewed.
Yeah.
And they could literally just make it up, because it really, it's like those children's books that you had when you were little, where it doesn't actually matter which order you read the pages in. The sense of the book actually is the same.
Yeah.
Absolute crap. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's very interesting, even on my day-to-day work, you know, the interview requests that come in at the end of the day, every question, they're all the same. And, you know, sometimes I look at them and then there's like an interview question list. And then I'm like, oh, for once, that is actually an interesting question, you know. And even some of my artists, they're like a little bit like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, we've had artists on this show that have talked about philosophy, astrology, religion, heartbreak, deaths in the family. I mean, whatever, you know, doesn't really matter. You know, there's no agenda. People can come on and they can just talk. And I just want to create a space, an intelligent, open space where artists can talk about that. And do you know what happens though? Here's the magic. The magic is that people actually go and check out their music. And some people have said to me, yeah, but you don't play any music on the show. No, it's funny that, right? Yeah. I don't, in my day-to-day job, I don't show people what it is that I do for a living, in terms of I don't hand them copy and go, or hand them videos and go, there it is, right?
Yeah.
They just get to know me, and when they get to know me, they understand what I can do for them, and then they go and check it out.
Yeah.
Right. And all of my favorite artists over the years, I think even before I'd heard a note, to some extent, I was like, wow, they're an interesting person, they've got something to say, and I want to find out more.
Yeah.
I want to what are they producing? Or I might have heard one song, but I hear something, I find out something really deep about them and what you know, where they're coming from, and you think, I just want to find out more and more and more about this person. And that is powerful stuff.
That is very powerful stuff. Yeah, because it shows more in depth in who the person is, you know, as an artist as well as just a person doing their washing, you know, than any video, any interview, I mean, you know, and anything that's kind of.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean to say you have to know what each song means, right? Yeah. Because the listener can interpret any song any way that they like, right?
Exactly.
You know, it's like Michael Stipe said about, you know, losing my religion. For years, people thought that was actually about losing your religion. It's a, you know, it's a term from Athens about kind of like losing faith in everyday things, right? But it's, you know, but the point is, well, if you want it to be about losing your actual religion or whatever, because you feel that's fine. It's fine. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same with Reminder, for example. For me, that's my story. That's why I wrote it. But at the end of the day, it can be any relationship anyone has with anyone. You know, it can be whatever topic they wish to be, and I think that's the magic in it. You know, to not be like, oh, this should sound like this, or you need to listen at the song and you need to understand. Nah.
Absolutely.
Listen to yourself and, you know, feel it. Yeah.
Now listen, if when people leave, they want to check out your link tree, you've got one of the most interesting link trees out there.
I do.
Yeah, you do. You seriously do, because just reading down Emeli's link tree, it just sounds like a great day out, right? It almost reads like the perfect kind of day out. You've got a reminder video. And then you've got Viral Dreams. And then you've got Tomorrowland 2023, Hits of Tomorrowland. Dreamy. Ma Maison, Alternative R&B Pop. Okay. Coffee Songs, Chill House, Mocha Monster, Chill Vibes. I mean, doesn't that sound like the perfect day for you? Just sounds like a great day.
It sounds like a good day. Yeah.
It does sound like a good day. So look, you know, I'm just putting it out there, just suggesting to people this weekend, find an hour when you've got nothing else to do. Just check on Emeli's link tree, go down it, and just enjoy that as a you know, almost like a 3-course meal.
Yeah.
And you'll enjoy that. So where next for you?
Where next for me? Well, I am currently in the artist development program at Safa Music.
Nice.
Well, if you've heard about them, but yeah, they're really great. I've been there for a year. It's like my second family in a way. And so I'm actually going to a workshop tomorrow on music management. So yeah, that is
Cool.
really cool. And next for me, start finding a pianist, and then start rehearsing, and then getting out gigging, and you know, doing all of that while I have my full-time job. But I think it's going to be fine.
What's the main qualification of the pianist got to be? Geographically, they must be somewhere, presumably.
Yeah, they must definitely be in London. That would be London. Interesting in pop music, pop soul.
Hope you're all getting this down, right? London, interested in pop soul music, yeah. Someone
who would like to grow into a band, possibly.
Cool.
Someone who's as fun as me, in a sense of really enjoying what they're doing, not taking them too serious. And the fifth, having the time and the capacity to go and gig, you know, every other week.
Now we won't tell them, because that would be cheating. All right. But if the person popped up for the sort of audition for this, what song, if they played it, would be the killer for you? That would clinch it. If you're thinking of auditioning, you put your fingers in your ears now, okay?
Yes.
Right. Just give you a moment to do that. Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We'll lean in.
Oh God, that's now the pressure. Oh God, what would it be? Maybe "Falling" from Alicia Keys. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Piano version. Yeah.
But done differently. It's got to have a
differently. Yeah, it has to have a personality.
Yeah, it's got to have a vibe to it. That's.
Yeah.
I tell you what, this would really get you. Would be "Falling" Alicia Keys, but with kind of like a hip hop section in the middle, where they actually go into a bit of hip hop and rap over the top of it. Then you'd be like, yeah, you're in.
I would be on fire. Like
you're coming with me.
Yeah, exactly.
See, this is like Emeli's own version of the piano, that program with Mika and Yang Yang. Right? That'd be Lang. You know, that would be absolutely We're going to make this happen. Emeli will be hanging around various train stations where they've got a piano available, and if you see her, just randomly start playing piano for her. All right.
That would be amazing.
Or I'll tell you what, just get in touch.
Exactly. Just DM me on Instagram.
That would be easier. Let me know if you do get that. If that happens. And if it happens because of this show, even better. That would be fantastic. Emeli, it's been a pleasure talking to you today. Absolute pleasure. I hope people go and check out your music now. I hope they enjoy it as much as I do. You know, just keep on doing what you do. And, you know, the great thing about you, from what I've heard already, is that you're doing it with the right headspace, which is always a beautiful thing. And I'm glad that you've reached a point where you've kind of taken a little bit of that pressure off of yourself, so that actually you can enjoy this process even more going forward. So we look forward to hearing from you in the future with all the wonderful stuff that you're going to produce. And thanks for coming on and sharing a bit of your life in music with us today. Thank you.
So much.
If you've enjoyed this has been my music. If you haven't, you're an idiot. Yeah, sorry. But if you did enjoy it, yeah, boo. If you did enjoy it, please share it with your friends. Do comment on the YouTube channel. Just say something nice, or say something, and let other people know, because it's great for the musicians. I personally, I'm busy enough as it is. So I'm not looking to become famous or anything like that. The whole reason for doing the show is for the people that make the music. But they'd love it if you shared it again and again, so that more people can go and check out their music and help them along the way. We will be back tomorrow with more of my music. Until then, thanks for watching us. And Emeli, thanks for being a brilliant guest.
Thank
Bye
you
for now.
Bye.